Are the US and Iran readying for war? That's our top focus tonight.
It does in fact appear, and all signals seem to indicate, that the United States and the Islamic Republic of Iran are readying themselves for war. The usual bravado from the side of the United States and the response from the Islamic Republic of Iran signifies that the US is intent on bombing Iran for whatever reason, while Iran's response signify they are not backing down. Let me explain. There's a quote attributed to Winston Churchill which states, "Never let a good crisis go to waste," meaning, in a crisis, there may be potential opportunities for you to gain benefits. But it seems that when it comes to physical conflict between nation states, like the possible conflict about to occur between the US and the Islamic Republic of Iran, there are no benefits to be made. So let me say right off the bat, I honestly do not believe President Trump will go to war with the Islamic Republic of Iran. There are too many negative variables that suggest a war between the US and Iran may not go the way those counseling President Trump think. I believe, to save face, President Trump will state an agreement was made between the two nations. But if the United States were to attack the Islamic Republic of Iran, well, let me remind you of the last time we messed with them and the outcome that resulted. And yes, it was under President Trump's last administration. Qasem Soleimani was an Iranian commander of the Quds Force of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC. He was responsible for extraterritorial, geopolitical, and clandestine military operations in the Middle East. Soleimani was such an influential figure that he was considered one of the most powerful figures in Iran, second only to the supreme leader. On Friday, January 3, 2020, General Soleimani arrived at the Baghdad airport from the Damascus International Airport in Syria. After being greeted by his hosts, they boarded their vehicles and proceeded to exit the airport towards their destination. Unbeknownst to them, 3 US MQ-9 Reaper drones, which were flying over the Baghdad airport for hours in anticipation of his arrival, received authorization to engage General Soleimani's entourage with Soleimani in the lead car. The Reapers, in a targeted US airstrike, fired on the entourage, killing all inside both vehicles, including General Soleimani, who could only be recognized by a ring he wore. Soleimani, his host, their assistants, and 5 elite Iranian protection guards assigned to Soleimani were all killed.
This is the equivalent of the Iranians assassinating the U.S. Secretary of Defense. If the Iranians were to assassinate the U.S. Secretary of Defense, we would consider that an act of war, and we would respond disproportionately.
The public outpouring of grief by Iranians was massive, as was evident by the large crowds from city to city waiting to pay their last respects and to see the funeral procession as it slowly drove through their cities en route to the funeral. During this procession, the Iranian government let it be known that there will be consequences to this assassination, and that United States bases in the region will be attacked in response as soon as General Soleimani's remains are laid to rest. This was further solidified when a red flag was hoisted above a mosque. The flag signified to the Iranian nation that we are going to war.
This is video from an Iranian state news channel, reportedly showing the launch of missiles from Iran. Their apparent targets, U.S. military bases over the border in Iraq.
This is video just in from Iranian state TV. You can see missiles streaking across the night sky. The targeted airbase had already been on heightened alert, given Iran's vow to retaliate against the United States for the airstrike that killed the country's top military commander, Qasem Soleimani.
Breaking news as we come on the air tonight. Iran has launched more than a dozen ballistic missiles at 2 locations in Iraq, where U.S. troops are based. The Pentagon says the missiles were fired from Iranian territory in retaliation for the U.S. drone strike in Baghdad last week that killed Iran's top general.
This was the consequence of the assassination. The U.S. government did not militarily respond.
We're having direct talks with Iran, and they've started. It'll go on Saturday. We have a very big meeting, and we'll see what can happen. And I think everybody agrees that doing a deal would be preferable to doing the obvious. And the obvious is not something that I want to be involved with, or frankly, that Israel wants to be involved with if they can avoid it. So we're going to see if we can avoid it.
If diplomacy fails, is the United States, under your leadership, ready to take military action to destroy the Iranian nuclear program and remove this threat?
I think if the talks aren't successful with Iran, I think Iran is going to be in great danger. And I hate to say it, great danger, because they can't have a nuclear weapon.
As I previously stated earlier in the video, I don't think President Trump will attack the Islamic Republic of Iran. There are too many negative variables and a plethora of problems that inhibit a win, which include, but certainly not limited to, the American people. First and foremost, the American people do not want the United States to go to war. Everyone is tired of endless war and desire a reset from the bloodshed. The economy. By the massive electoral win that he received, President Trump was given a mandate to lead us out of a financial quagmire. That means fixing the economy. New wars, especially one with Iran, will further wreak havoc on the economy and thoroughly bankrupt the nation. Economists will tell you, war is no good for business or the economy. Businesses can't make money or trade with an unstable economy hanging over their heads. Our military. Historically speaking, the United States has never won a military campaign by itself. Not the War of 1812, not the Spanish-American War, not Vietnam, not Iraq, not Afghanistan, not even for our independence. We've always requested help from our allies. If we were to go to war with Iran, our allies will not be able to help us, as they are in much more of a financial and military bind as we are. If we go to war with Iran, rest assured several things will happen. Other countries and groups in and out of the region will join in to help Iran one way or another. Russia has a war pact with Iran, much like NATO. They may not physically come to Iran's aid, but they sure will share weapons technology and intelligence with them. While we are busy with Iran, Russia may finish off Ukraine, China may retake Taiwan, North Korea may try their hand at the South. Arab countries friendly to the West may be overthrown, and there'll be absolutely nothing we'll be able to do about it. The popularity and mandate that he currently holds will tank and evaporate dramatically to a point of no return. He knows that the Democratic Party wants to impeach him again. A war will not only allow that to happen with ease, but it would also cause a political turnaround in the next 2 election cycles. Yet it seems that the war hawks are fiending for multiple wars. The strange thing is that it seems they want to fight a war with Iran, Russia, China, and North Korea. We cannot win a war with either of those countries separately, but they are adamant that they can take them on all at once. Nothing can be further from the truth. Take present-day Yemen, for example. Yemen is the poorest country in the so-called Middle East, yet we can't seem to stop them from making and lobbing their missiles at our ships that are patrolling Yemeni waters. We will see what happens in the coming days and weeks. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Thank you for watching.